So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips on finding the best keyboard and mouse settings for you in Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 5. Now, before the video starts, I just wanted to say that everyone's keybinds and sensitivities are going to be different. I can't just give out some settings and expect it to work for everyone. Some people aren't going to be comfortable with the settings. Being comfortable is the most important thing when finding the best keyboard and mouse settings in Fortnite. You should be prioritizing that over everything. Watch the video to the end because I do give you guys some settings to start off with so you guys have an idea. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So let's first start with the keyboard. I'm going to give you guys 2 rules that you should follow when choosing your keybinds. Rule number 1 is to make the important binds the easiest to reach keys on the keyboard. So things like your building binds, your edit bind, and your weapon binds. Make sure they are as close to W, S, A, and D as possible so you guys can press them with ease and still be able to react quickly to something that's happening in game. Now for rule number 2. Rule number 2 is to try and pick binds where you still have most of your fingers on W, S, A, and D. So when picking keybinds, you can try and bind some of your actions to your thumb and pinky. This ensures that when you're performing said action, you still have a full range of movement. Now everyone has a different hand size, which is the reason why I can't just give you guys some settings and expect you to do good with them. What I suggest doing, which is really helpful, is writing down all the keys that you can press on the keyboard while still having your fingers near W, S, A, and D. These are the keys that I'm able to press while having my fingers near W, S, A, and D. I think most people should be able to reach these keys as well. I have medium-sized hands. So now it's time to choose whether you want to prioritize good movement or building. For good movement, try and pick keys that don't require you to take your fingers off of W, S, A, and D. You have a wide selection of binds you can use with your pinky and thumb. Now, if you have a weak pinky or thumb, the only way to strengthen it is to assign binds to those fingers. The more you use them, the stronger they will get. If you have a mouse with side buttons, that would be perfect as well. You can bind an action to your mouse button 5 or 4. For building, you want to pick keys that are close to W, S, A, and D. The reason why you want to pick keys that are close to W, S, A, and D is so you can perform the action and still have time to react to what's happening in game. Now it's time to pick your keybinds. Now go back to that list that you made with the binds that you can reach the easiest. Now try and bind an action to every key that you wrote down. For example, the keys that I can reach with ease are E, Q, R, F, C, Z, X, V, Tab, Caps Lock, Shift, Control, and left Alt. Don't forget about the mouse side buttons if you have them. Now I would bind all the important actions to one of these keybinds. I would bind all of the building keybinds first, then I would bind everything else. Now that you've set up everything, practice with them. I recommend going into creative and using Machine Write's creative map to help speed up the process of learning your keybinds. With this map, you're cycling through the binds to get a better feel for them. It's rebuilding your muscle memory. His channel will be in the description down below. So for a mouse with side buttons, I recommend you guys having wall as mouse button 5, floor as V, stairs as mouse button 4, roof as caps lock, edit as E, reset as scroll wheel down, crouch as left control, use as left alt, your pickaxe as F, and your weapon slots 2, 3, 4, 5, Z, and X. Now for a mouse without side buttons, I recommend using wall as F, floor as C, stairs as Q, roof as V, edit as left shift, reset as scroll wheel down, crouch as left control, use as scroll wheel up, and your weapon slots 2, 3, 4, 5, Z, and X. Also for both, make sure your trap is T. The rest of the keybinds are personal preference. I just wanted to go through all of the important binds so you guys can bind whatever keys you want to those other actions. Now it's time for the mouse settings. Like I said with the keyboard binds, I can't just give you guys a sensitivity and expect you guys to be good with it. Now finding the best mouse sensitivity is going to take some trial and error. You're not going to get the perfect sensitivity for yourself first try. Now with some research, there has been a way to help drastically with finding the best sense for you, but first we need to talk about mouse DPI and EDPI. Now DPI, or dots per inch, is the overall measure of how sensitive your mouse is within Windows. The higher the DPI, the less force it takes to move your cursor. The lower the DPI, the less force it takes to move your cursor. EDPI, or effective dots per inch, is your in-game sense multiplied by your DPI. In Fortnite, I play on a 7.5 X and Y sense and an 800 DPI in Windows, making my EDPI 60. I've made a video explaining it a lot more in depth, so check the I in the top right corner, but stay tuned as I talk about a website that you can use to narrow down your sensitivity options. Now to keep it short and simple, the first thing you guys want to do is find a center point in game. game. This can be anything. Do a 360 starting from one side of your mouse pad and end it at the other. If your crosshair lines up with the center point, then you're good, but if not, keep tweaking your sense until it finally lines up. If you're too short, then raise it, and if you pass it, lower it. Once it lines up, you're good to move on to the next step. Go to the description, there will be a link to the PSA calculator. Once on the website, enter in your sensitivity in-game, and if you feel like your sensitivity is too slow, then pick higher, and if you feel like it's too fast, then pick lower. Now the website will give you a higher value, the base value, and a lower value. These are the sensitivities that you can try, and if it still doesn't work, then keep going until it eventually does. Keep selecting between higher and lower until you find the sense for you. It should take 2 to 3 tries with this website to find the best sense for you. Once you're done with the website, test your new sensitivity out in game. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe. I've made a couple of stretch resolution videos. If you want the best stretch resolution to use to pair with your new settings and become unstoppable, then I suggest clicking the eye in the top right corner. This will take you to my stretch resolution videos. It's been your boy Zxire, and I'm out. Peace.